Yo. Gonna call. Hang on, I'm just sending links on a bunch of Discords, and then I'm gonna call you. I probably don't need to send it on yours. Myself, probably, yeah. Just tweeted out the link. Sweet. Okay. And I think I've got my shit set up so that I can actually properly display you on my stream, too. We'll see how that works. Let me go ahead and call you. Fuck, where's DMs? There. Okay, I'm gonna call you now. Call. Turn on camera. I guess my camera doesn't really need to be on, per se.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can't hear you. Do I have the wrong?
It says that my Discord is picking up sound.
Wait, it's showing you. It's playing. What? Oh, I know. Talk now.
Hello, hello?
Yeah. It was my little. I have a fucking. My headset's plugged into a thing that separates game and chat, and it was turned all the way to game. It's really easy to accidentally. Okay, if you turn your camera on, I'm pretty sure I can actually pull you up on the stream right now.
Oh, word?
Yeah. Okay, if you turn your camera on and I put you full screen. And then, oh shit.
Oh my god.
Wait, I just need it so that it shows only you. Oh, if I set it to pop out. Let me see.
I should have done like my makeup this morning.
That's showing the wrong thing. Can I set it to show the pop out window instead? Hang on. I can make this work, I think. Okay. Otherwise, I can do a second display capture and make you full screen on my second screen. That's one way to do it. But I'm trying to do window capture. And just put... Oh, here we go. Sweet. It's got you as, like... I wish I could make the pop-out show just only your video and nothing else, though. Grid. More... Got huge right now.
I'm watching myself on your screen. It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. Let me see what happens if I hit... Well, if I hit full screen, I'm not going to be able to tell.
Well, so if you go on like the window, if you hover over it, there should be an option that says hide members or show members. Oh, you did it already.
Yeah, I think that is the best it's going to get. Right
Yeah,
there.
that's probably about it.
That's not too bad, though. Yeah.
You can make me tiny. It's all right.
I can cut off these corners of the black. I'll eventually figure out how to get this so that it just shows your video. There's got to be a way to do that. But for now...
For now it'll work.
Okay. All right. Got that working. Let me see. How can I still have my Twitch? Hopefully if I...
Yes, I love you.
Yeah, there we go. If I do that. And I can actually hide you on there so that I only see you on my stream too. Okay. Sweet. Okay, people are talking. I'm gonna call you a slur. I thought you said that. Franny said that. I could hear him the entire time clearly. Yeah, no, I could tell that you guys could hear him. I saw the desktop audio popping up and down. That's what was confusing me. I had to, it was on my end. Okay. So do you have any topics at all, or do you want to
It's actually really funny because the topics that you picked were the same ones that I was looking at. So we seem to have
doesn't
been on
surprise
the same
me,
wave.
yeah. It's kind of the big stuff right now. Okay, well, we can start with a lighter... lighter. It's all pretty depressing. We can start with the less awful thing. Let me get my camera so it can see me. That being Trump versus DeSantis. So first, I want to start. What do you think on Trump versus DeSantis? Which one of them do you think is more likely to be?
So it's interesting. Obviously, like I'm of the opinion that both Trump and DeSantis are like really fucking terrible.
Oh yeah, they're
Right?
both awful. But who do you think's more likely to
Yeah.
win the nomination?
So I don't know who's more likely to win. However, what I do feel like is going to happen is that we've sort of. Ooh, sorry, I had a little bit of soda before. um, we've reached a point, I think, with the Republican Party where we had these two really massive figures, Trump and DeSantis, both of which have developed some sort of like cult of personality around them. And I think what we're gonna see is if this trajectory keeps going, and and if Trump like remains like still wanting to run for president, and by all purposes, it seems like DeSantis sort of has the same plan. I'm hoping that what we'll see is a rift between them. I've seen the Republicans arguing on Twitter already, like Trump has to stop attacking DeSantis.
Yeah,
it's
that's
tearing
kind of what
apart.
I'm thinking too. I could see this being the first thing that really splits the Republican vote in a long time.
Yeah, like so. I think I'm hoping that continues.
Yeah.
I
I think the best possible scenario is DeSantis beats Trump in the primary, and then Trump is too. Of course, Trump is Trump, so he calls fraud, and then maybe runs as a independent on top of that. That would be amazing. That would just destroy the Republican Party, at least for a little while.
I mean, yeah, it would definitely give us some time. All right.
Yeah.
But I think
the
like
light on. I just realized I didn't. Go on.
I do think that
Page
probably. I don't know. I think if I had to hedge my bets, though, I think I would go with Trump winning the nomination.
I kind of think so too. Still, DeSantis has came back on him in the in the opinions of Republican voters a lot more than I ever expected him to.
Yeah.
But at this rate, I do still think Trump is probably the preferred one.
I think I think he's definitely the preferred one, and I think also I think DeSantis is smart enough to recognize that if he continues to push against Trump in this type of way, I think he recognizes what we just said.
That he'll split the
Republican
party.
vote.
Yeah, Trump is not self-aware enough to give a shit about that. But,
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't think Trump cares about that at all.
yeah, I didn't put up the chat box. You're right, Franny. Hang on. I just made this whole scene. Hang on, let me get those in.
Oh yeah, there is no chat. God damn.
Nope. We'll put the chat above you. Can I make it? No. Can't. Okay. And then I should probably put my other stuff up real quick too. But yeah, no, I do think you're right. I think Trump would be, if DeSantis wins the nomination, Trump would be the one that would be way more likely to call fraud and try to run as an independent or something. DeSantis, I think, would have the foresight to realize that that's just gonna fuck them both.
Yeah.
And probably would concede and get behind Trump, which to me, I would say that means I would rather DeSantis be the one to win the nomination then. Ultimately.
Actually, yeah, like it's
even though I think DeSantis, to be
weird.
clear, I think DeSantis is more dangerous. If DeSantis actually became president, that would be worse.
Yeah, it puts us in a weird political position because
Yeah.
I think they understand the strategically. Like I understand, all right, if DeSantis wins, the likelihood of the Republican Party falling apart is probably much greater than if Trump wins. But then if DeSantis wins, that also puts him in like shooting distance
Of actually winning.
Yeah,
and
actually
that would be
fucking shit up.
horrifying, even compared to Trump, in my opinion.
Yeah, even
it's not
compared
even that he's. It's not even that Trump is better or DeSantis or that DeSantis is worse politically. It's that he's more effective.
He's more effective. I think he's more effective. He's younger. I genuinely believe
Younger
he's
too, yep.
smarter than Trump.
Oh, he's they're both
So, like,
idiots, but he's way smarter than Trump. Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel
Yeah.
like whereas Trump is just kind of like this guy who was like he threw himself into the mix.
Yeah.
I sort of get the feeling that DeSantis is more calculated.
Yeah,
Calculated.
DeSantis actually somewhat knows what he's doing. Like, he has an actual plan. Trump
Yeah,
is
exactly.
just
He has
like
an
a
ideology
narcissist.
that he actually yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Trump
Where
is literally
DeSantis
just
is
pure narcissism.
ideological.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
Trump is
both
just there for
narcissists, but
himself.
Trump is only there to be a narcissist, and that's it. That's all he cares
Exactly.
about.
Where I feel like DeSantis is probably there for like actual power, and
Right.
that's pretty fucking terrifying.
Right.
That's pretty terrifying.
Agreed. Meat Boy says DeSantis is more intelligent and more racist, but rep voters are emotionally attached to Trump. That would be beautiful if Dems can be halfway decent for 10 minutes. I'm assuming that was in response to if DeSantis wins and then they split. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I would agree, though. DeSantis is more intelligent and probably also more racist, yeah.
If DeSantis does win, or even if Trump wins, who do you think, what is the Democratic response to that? Who is the challenge that they put up? It can't
Oh,
be
you
Biden,
mean,
right?
okay, so you mean if one of them, like, wins the primary, who do I think that Dems will run
Right.
against them? Oh, shit, dude. That's harder, to be honest. Like, I really don't know what the fuck the Dems are gonna do right now, because I mean, honestly, my best guess right now is Biden's just gonna run again. Like, I don't, he's still acting like he's gonna run. There's not really anyone else. I mean, obviously there's Bernie. Bernie said he'd run again, but he's getting so old. I don't see Bernie winning. I would support
see
him.
Bernie
If Bernie
winning
runs
either.
again, I'll support him, but I don't see Bernie winning. I see I see Bernie having the least chance at winning in 2024 out of all three of his runs. Or that would be his third run.
Yeah, I agree. I think that if Bernie runs again, he probably does worse this round, like this time around,
Then 2020.
than yep,
Yeah, I
yeah.
agree.
And I agree. I think that
Bernie
he's
needs
also
to not
really
run.
old.
I'm with you, Franny. I mean, even just for his own sake, like, dude needs to put his weight behind a younger person. Exactly. Completely agree.
You know what the thing? Like I've seen people talk about Nina Turner. And even though I genuinely do love Nina Turner, I don't know if she has presidential appeal.
I don't think she does. I think she'd have no chance. But I mean, I like Nina Turner more than I like Bernie. But yeah, no. I don't think she has any chance. I also don't think she would even run, to be honest. Like, she's not very experienced. Nina seems okay, but not president material at all. Yeah, no, not yet at least. She needs a lot more time.
Yeah, and I mean, I think one of the things that sort of like, I feel like as far as a Democratic representative goes, Nina is pretty like against the grain.
She is,
and I feel like she's more.
She wouldn't win a primary even.
No, she wouldn't. I feel like she's more outspokenly like anti-US.
Oh
too.
yeah, she probably has the same beliefs as Bernie ultimately, but she has no filter, and that's what I like. That's why I like her more than Bernie. She acts less like a politician. Nina to me comes off like a leftist Andrew Yang, if that makes sense.
If by leftist Andrew Yang you mean an actual leftist.
Yeah, well, right, yeah, I'm sure Franny does not mean to say that Andrew Yang is even remotely a leftist. I'm sure Franny hates Andrew Yang every bit as much as all of us do. But yeah, I could get what you if you mean in that Yang also kind of is like a no filter, just says whatever he's feeling type. Yeah, I could see that. But yeah. So apparently, the article I pulled up, though, apparently Elon Musk just recently said he's actually going to back DeSantis. Elon Musk has said he would support Donald Trump's arch-rival Ron DeSantis in 2024 if the Florida governor were to run for president. Yes, Musk said in a tweet when asked if he would support DeSantis in 24. So I guess it was just a one-word response. My preference for the 2024 presidency is someone sensible and centrist. Of course he said that. I had hoped that would be the case for the Biden administration. It literally, I mean, sensible no, but centrist it literally is the case for the Biden experiment. But I have been disappointed so far. Well, that's the thing, though. He wants someone like DeSantis. That is a centrist to him, you know?
Well, it's funny that you say that because so I was scrolling on Twitter before, and I forget who it was that posted the screenshots. But it was first it was Elon Musk saying, "Oh, like I'm not really a conventionally left or right. I'm more of a moderate."
Yeah.
And then the very next tweet, it might have been Jackie actually that posted the tweet.
Yeah.
And the very next screenshot is, yeah, like I'd support Ron DeSantis.
That's
it's like,
fucking
yes,
hilarious.
yes,
Musk
centrist Ron DeSantis.
Musk is I can't decide how much of his political talk is pure grift and how much of it is just him genuinely being a moron. Like,
To be honest, I think it's a little bit of both.
I think
Like
it's a little bit of both too, yeah.
I think he knows that he's politically inept and that
Yeah.
he's like
I
pretty
think he knows
stupid.
he's not a centrist. I think he knows he's pushing for the Republicans
Yeah.
and pushing against the
He knows,
Democrats.
but he knows that it's also a great troll.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah,
like,
yeah. And
you know,
he knows
so
that there's enough idiots out there that will take him more seriously if he claims to be in the middle, despite clearly not being in the middle, even of the Democrats and Republicans, let alone left and right. Like, because Trump won't tweet. Oops.
Musk has no grift. He's
Yes,
just
he is
sincerely
implying Biden is left, Jens. Biden is center right. Yeah, Biden is absolutely center right. But no,
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
Elon Musk is implying that Biden is far left. Absolutely.
If
What I
Elon
mean
Musk
is-
was sincere about really wanting like a moderate or something, he would support Biden.
He would love Biden, yeah. If he's
he would
talking like
love
a
Biden
American
over DeSantis.
centrist, American moderate, like in the middle of the general American politician average, then yeah, he would love Biden. Biden is literally
Yeah.
right in the middle when it comes to most American politicians. He's center right if we're talking like the actual political spectrum. But as far as the
Right, of course.
American political spectrum, he's basically dead center. What I mean is she seems like if she ran for president, she would come off like someone who bumbled ass first into trying to run with nothing to... Yeah. Okay, yeah. I do agree that's probably what it would seem like. Musk has no grift. He's just sincerely a dipshit. You think it's pure dipshittery? I could see that, to be honest. Because, I mean, he's not making himself money right now.
I mean, the dude spent what did he buy Twitter for? 48 or something? 40 million?
44? I want to say 44 billion.
That's just like
Absurd.
40 whatever billion just to be a dickwad
Yeah.
on Twitter. Bro. Like,
The entrepreneur's
Jesus
remarks are the clearest sign of his political backing after he indicated this June that he was still mulling his Republican preference for president, but that he was leaning towards... Okay, so he's been saying for a while that he was leaning towards DeSantis. I didn't realize that. But that doesn't surprise me.
you know what was funny? We should have seen this coming, and I feel like a lot of people did.
Yeah.
Probably. But do you remember when Musk came out? It was like it was like just before he got accused of being like a
Yeah,
fucking
he came out and
actual
said that
fucking
he'd never
harasser or some shit.
voted Republican before, but he would be now. Yeah.
Yeah, dude fucking got outed as a fucking predator. And
Yeah.
immediately after was like, yeah, I'm a Republican actually.
He knew where predators thrive, to be fair. He had the
Yeah,
right
but-
idea. Okay, to be fair though, there was Cuomo. I
Yeah,
can't
true,
entirely say that. Twitter ban Trump. So yeah, because Musk also said Friday night that he was fine with Trump not tweeting after having his account reinstated last week. The important thing is that Twitter... Okay. Yeah, Twitter banned Trump. I don't really think that Musk dislikes Trump is the thing. He tries to act like he's sort of a... I think he's trying to do the same deal as like what the Lincoln Project did, you know, where he's like, I'm a sensible Republican, but he has the same views as Trump. He just doesn't want to be associated with that shit, you know?
Well, I think that when it comes to Elon and Trump, I get the feeling that they're in like a really weird, like dick measuring contest with each other.
I could see
you
that
know?
a little bit. Has Elon ever really directly gave his opinion on Trump as a president? I can't really think of a time that he has.
Not that I can think of off the top
Yeah,
of my
I don't
head,
think
but I
he's
mean,
ever...
I'm sure he
has, but probably not very in depth, you know? I bet he's really careful to say too much positive or negative about Trump. Fernie says Musk desperately wants Trump to like him. I could see that. I mean...
Yeah, I do sort of get that vibes too. Like, you know, like Trump is like the king eccentric billionaire, you know? Like the real weird one. And then here you have this other little weirdo like following him around, like trying to trying to follow in daddy's footsteps.
Yeah.
Musk is going to be more of a son to Trump than Eric Trump. Mark my words.
Yeah, I could see that. Musk and Trump are both career con men. I mean, yeah, yeah, the 100%. Also, how's it going, Ogle?
Ogle, my main man, what up?
Okay, I think that's about it for this particular
It's
article. Do
just
you have anything else to say on the Elon Trump thing? Elon DeSantis / Trump thing, that whole deal?
I guess really the only thing that I would say is ultimately I don't really know how much like sway Elon's gonna have in determining, who is or isn't gonna be the Republican nominee.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Right
But
wingers
what
do
I
really like him.
right wingers do really like him, but what I do think is something that is worth noting and something that I think is like just kind of worth keeping in the back of our minds is that just the fact that you have this uber powerful, wealthy person and he is so willingly like wanting to give, like these his platform and his time and his attention to these, far right politicians, and not even that, but I mean, if we just look at what he's doing with Twitter, just far right voices in general, we don't
Yeah,
even have to get to the government level. I think like just that in and of itself is really, really dangerous, and I think it's something that we all have to like
agreed.
really like
It's
keep an
very
eye out
clear
for.
that his whole idea of free speech is just kowtowing to the right. I mean, he literally made a tweet the other day about like all media organizations and stuff know that the far left voices are not the ones getting banned, even if they say the worst, most insane. I'm like, what are you, bro? I've been banned like 12 times on your fucking website. I've been banned
Yeah.
since you bought it. What are you talking
Yep.
about?
Same here.
Yeah,
Same
same with
here.
you. Same with like everyone I'm fucking friends with on there. That is just objectively a lie. Like, I don't know how he thought no one would. And I mean, okay, to be fair, the right buys it. The right's been saying this for a long time. I was, for any, you were banned? I thought you, by deleting my account. Yeah, you fucking liar. No way they banned Quisqueño. Yeah, no, they did. I can't type that. I copy paste. You can't type Quisqueño. Is it Quisqueño or Quisqueño?
It's
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 Quisqueño.
Quisqueño, yeah,
Quisqueño.
Quisqueño, yeah.
Yeah, of course, because in Spanish you don't really say I as an I. It's like almost
It's
always an
the
E.
the
Yeah.
yeah, and the U sort of changes that sound a little bit
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Quisqueño. I did have to copy and paste the end with the tilde, by the way. I looked up online. Apparently, it's supposed to be alt and
Yeah, it's
N.
like alt and then like I think FN or something, right? And the
Oh, okay.
number
Maybe it's something
or
like
the
that.
letter.
Cause yeah, I tried to put alt N and that didn't work either. So I literally just had to fucking
With the with a Mac, you could just kind of like hold the key down
yeah.
and it
On a
just like pops
phone,
it up.
you can do that shit too. But yeah, okay. Well, we can move on then to the heavier topic that's kind of big right now. The Colorado shooting suspect.
Yeah, I have
Supposedly,
I have quite a bit to say
I
on
do
this.
too.
Okay,
Because,
cool, cool,
okay,
cool.
let's be clear right away. Oh, shit. Do I have to? It let me. Okay, it says create a free account. Hang on. It let me look at this a minute ago on my phone. Oh, you. Continue without subscribing. Come on. Maybe come on, just let me fucking look at the fucking. Okay, there we go. There we go. So yeah, so the lawyers of the Club Q shooter are
Jesus
claiming
Christ.
that the Club Q shooter was non-binary. Now let's be clear right away. That motherfucker is not non-binary. They're lying. They're
Yeah,
100% lying. I didn't buy that for a second. And the fact that
there
none of
was
his friends claim it, he was he was not. He was absolutely not non-binary. Those lawyers are disgusting for trying to use that fucking card. When it's I mean, his mom never called him they them, his friends never called him they them. They never.
Okay, so that's the point that I was gonna bring
Yeah.
up. I think wasn't there recently like testimony or something
Yeah,
where one
yeah,
of his
I've got an
friends were
article
like,
pulled up.
I've
So I've got
never heard him
yeah,
call himself that.
none
Like,
of his friends have ever heard that motherfucker say he was non-binary or call himself they them. They literally pulled that shit out of their ass, and it's so fucking
well,
obvious.
the reason why they do this is because it plays into their narrative, right?
Yeah,
Like, look, trans people.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
crazy
crazy. Yeah,
groomers.
yeah. This
And,
wasn't
and,
a
and
case
and
of
look,
a hate
and now
crime. This
look,
was
and
just a
now,
trans
yep,
person who went crazy. That's
exactly.
exactly
Yeah,
what
this
they're
is just
trying
a
to
trans
fucking
person that
say.
went crazy, that went nuts, and like this is why we have to make sure that we can't let trans people use the bathrooms that they want.
Yeah.
Like and ultimately at the end of the day, it really is just a talking point to like hammer home the idea that these people are not people.
Yeah.
And that like we can that it's okay whatever happens to them. If you hear right-wing pundits, if you hear Matt Walsh, all those types, they're literally saying like, oh, it's their fault that they got killed because they are like they were LGBTQ.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Like, and that's the whole point that they want to drive home, that this type of violence, that this type of action,
yeah, that it's just normal in the LGBTQ community.
Yep.
It definitely has
Exactly.
nothing to do with them declaring LGBTQ people as like the fucking #1 public enemy. It couldn't possibly be that. And yeah,
it
as
couldn't
Rock
be
brings up,
that.
the video fucking how do we get an archive page? I didn't fucking know. Anyway, Rock brings up the video of the dude's dad. Like, we just saw the dude's dad on video, like, sigh in relief after hearing that his son isn't gay. He just shot a bunch of gay people.
That was I'm gonna I feel like I'm not like super old or anything. I just turned 30.
Yeah.
So but I feel like in my 30 years, I feel like I've seen and heard some pretty absurd and wild shit. But
that's one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
That was insane because
100%.
the dad did not seem bothered
that is
at all.
Yeah, he didn't seem to give a fuck that his kid
like
killed
not
some
even
people.
not even a little bit.
No, not even a tiny bit. Zero remorse in his eyes. He went on to talk about the fact, I mean, he didn't say it this way, but he literally went on to say that he was definitely on some shit for Annie. Clearly dude was fucked up. But like way drunk, I think. I think he was fucking wasted. That's what it came off as to me. But yeah, he literally went on to describe the way in which he raised his son to do this. It's not what he said, but he literally said, I praised him for violence. I always told him that violence is a useful tool. And he also said, no, we were never cool with gays in this house. I always taught him to hate gays. So I'm like, literally, you are just laying out how you literally raised your kid to one day become a mass shooter at a gay club. Like, you raised him to do this.
In my personal opinion, I mean, that dude is like, he has blood on his hands.
Oh, he should go to prison.
He is absolutely complicit.
He should get decades at least in prison, and his son should obviously get life. That
like,
so
and
fucked.
It's people. It's funny because people are always like, oh well, like you have to try to talk to these people or you have to try to reason with them, and I always say, that works maybe for some people.
Yeah,
and there are definitely some people
tell
who
you can and can't reason with.
It's
very obvious in like 2 seconds of talking to someone.
There are some people worth having the debate with. This motherfucker is not worth having.
No, this motherfucker's lost. This motherfucker's long gone.
He's a lost cause. There's no reason why anyone, as far as I'm concerned, like if someone was to go to like this dude's house and like in Minecraft, of course, all right, not ever, and like have some fun with it, it would be totally justified.
Yeah, no,
it would
100%.
be totally justified. Now, obviously, this is all theoretical and hypothetical, and I'm,
No, I completely agree with you, though. The shit
it would be
disgusting.
absolutely justified. It's like I have the same opinion. And like, if there was some dude walking down the street and he had like a Nazi armband on, and some stranger, without warning, walked up to this dude and just decked him, hypothetically speaking, of course, I wouldn't even be mad at that.
No.
How could I be mad at that?
I mean, we've all seen the Richard Spencer video, and I think we all love it.
I love it.
Or the video of that neckbeard Nazi who's doing the arm salute, and then they get him right here. Oh
yes, that was
that one's amazing. It was at a college campus. Oh man, that one's great.
It's a good one. But it's crazy, man. Like we especially in a time where we see not only, and I spoke about this on one of my last streams a couple days ago. We live in a time where the LGBTQ community again seems to have had like a massive target painted on their back.
That shit is on the uprise big time. It's actually pretty mind-blowing.
And it's not just like the average person who's like bugging out and being crazy. It's government officials, laws actively being passed across state.
Like, the
You
most
know?
extreme homophobes are suddenly the ones literally in Congress. And I'm sure that was the case before, but they were quiet about it. For a long time, like, for most of my life, I could confidently say that LGBTQ people were getting more and more accepted, probably at a faster rate than any other group, until the
Yeah.
last, like, 3 or 4 years.
Yep.
Suddenly, in the last 3 or 4 years, I couldn't really tell you who started it, but the right wing all suddenly were like, "Oh no, we're gonna make the LGBTQ people our biggest target again," and
Well, you
it's
know what
absurd
it
now.
sort of
Trump,
feels
Lindsay
like for
says, I don't
me.
think it was Trump that started it, but he definitely played into it.
It sort of feels like for me. I think Republicans, on some degree, realized that maybe like racism, even though they can't let go of it because that's like core to their
Yeah,
personality. Racism, I think they're realizing maybe is not the winning card that they
it's
thought it
harder
was.
to win on
Yeah,
racism anymore.
exactly.
Yeah,
And I think that they realized, there's a lot of POC, there are a lot of minority people out there that are actually pretty conservative.
yeah,
And they're especially conservative when it comes to LGBTQ issues.
right, yeah,
That's a problem that exists, especially like in the Latin community. Like
mm-hmm.
speaking from personal experience, like I have family members that to this day, like to talk to them, like if they see two men holding hands or something, it's like blasphemy to them, you know.
Yeah,
So I think that like Republicans are starting to understand
yeah.
this, and
They're
I
picking a
think that
more winning issue. It's not like they're
yeah,
not still
exactly,
racist, and they still. I mean, you can still pull up clips of every Republican being racist within the last couple weeks. Like, obviously, that's not something they don't still do, but they're dog
right.
whistling a lot more with the racism, whereas with the LGBTQ stuff, they're almost just coming out straight up with it these days. They may as well just be straight up saying that they want
Well,
LGBT people dead at this point.
I mean, yeah, no. At this point, it really is just like. Well, they're really the euphemism has died.
Yeah.
They don't have any use for it anymore.
No.
There's no need to be like, oh, we should consider this or whatever. It's
No.
nah, trans people are groomers.
Yeah.
Trans
No.
people
Just
are,
straight
like
out. Yeah.
straight up. It's
It's like we're
it's out
back
in
in
the
the
open
80s. I
now.
mean, that was the fucking big thing in the 80s or so. Yeah, into the 90s a bit was that all gay people and I mean trans people weren't as like publicly talked about back then. But just that, queer people in general were all pedophiles. That was the big thing in like the 80s.
And if you notice, the hatred towards the LGBTQ community is like very intense. I feel like
It's extremely intense right now.
compared to like maybe like other groups. Not to say
Yeah.
that other groups don't face it,
Oh, of course they do.
that
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
have that don't face it intensely.
But
They
as far as what they're
do.
being open with, it's constant
Yeah,
on the
exactly.
LGBTQ stuff right now. I mean, it's the only thing I ever occasionally see people being weird about in person, even where I'm at. I never really see like open racism in person, but I definitely see open queer phobia in person these days. I mean, I have seen open racism in person, but like it's not as common.
It's definitely more watered down, I think,
Mm-hmm.
than the open like queer phobia and shit. Like I definitely do think that people right now feel more comfortable being bigoted and hateful towards queer people
Yeah, especially
than
trans people.
yeah, especially trans
Yeah.
people. And I think, it's weird. Like there's some people I've spoken, usually people in my family. Um, I've spoken to them. They're like, oh, like I don't really get it. And the fact that they don't like quote unquote get it, like makes them uneasy. And then you kind of explain them to them a little bit, and you explain how it's more fluid than they think, and they
Mm-hmm.
sort of like are able to. You got to like hold their hand
That's
through
how
it,
most of my family is too.
Yeah, you kind of got to like hold their hand through it. But then there are other ones that are like they just don't want to hear it.
Yeah, they don't even want to give it a chance.
Don't
Yeah.
want to hear it.
The
And
people
it's like,
who
dude,
listen to Matt Walsh and them who have just, I mean, their brains have just been poisoned at this point. They
Matt
don't
Walsh
live
is
in reality.
particularly hateful,
He's
and
like the
like
worst one.
I know that there's a term stochastic terrorism, and obviously I think Matt Walsh does fit that perfectly, but I think even beyond that, he's just like a flat, like just flatly like a terrorist. Like I don't even
Yeah.
think that we need to add the stochastic part to it.
No, he's
like
pretty much just straight up a terrorist, yeah. And
yeah,
yes,
it can.
my sound alerts are on right now for any
Yeah, you effing
You motherfucker.
with some wet-ass P-word. Bring a
Franny's gonna
bucket and
start
a mop
fucking
for this
spamming
wet-ass
fucking
P-word. Give me
sound
everything you
alerts
got
while
for
we're
this wet-ass
talking.
P-word.
But yeah, no, 100%. Fuck. Franny, you made me lose my train of thought, you bastard. I don't know how to temporarily disable them. Why did they design this?
It's
But yeah, no,
these are so
Matt
funny.
Walsh. Yeah, no, he's basically just a straight up. Yeah, I mean, he just. I mean, I guess it would still be considered a stochastic terrorist because he's not going out there and doing it himself. But like, it's so blatant.
I mean, I guess, he's just. I just feel like, to be honest, I'm waiting for the day that something like this happens again, and the person is just flat out, openly like, "No, I saw a Matt Walsh video, and I thought he made sense."
It won't even matter. I mean, look at what happened with all the way back in the day, the Christchurch shooting. That dude directly named a bunch of his inspirations, and none of them took credit for it. They're, because one dude who watches me did something bad, that means I'm a bet. No, he literally said he got the idea from you, but they'll never own that. The Christchurch shooter was a huge Ben Shapiro fan, a huge Candace Owens fan. Yeah,
it's amazing because I really did think, and this is how you can tell that, like, I still have like rosy, what is it? What's the term?
Rose-tinted glasses.
Rose-tinted glasses. Is because when I thought that when that
he
happened,
called out PewDiePie as an inspiration too.
When that happened, I was like, "Oh my god, it's over for them. That's it. Their careers are done. They were named directly in a manifesto by a mass murderer."
Yeah.
I thought that was it.
Yeah, I thought that would do it, but nope, that's not enough apparently. Nothing happened. I don't think these people will ever be held responsible, to be honest. I mean, unless we have some kind of fucking revolution where people like us actually take power, but I don't see that happening either. So
yeah, no, I don't see that happening.
Yeah, so I'm seeing people like Matt Walsh. I mean, he can keep going till he's basically directly saying, "Yeah, no, I want you to call in bomb threats on the hospitals I talk about." He'll never.
You know what? How come? Why is it though? Because I feel like there have been a couple times maybe in this particular stream where we've maybe flirted with that line a little bit, right?
Right.
Of maybe getting banned or in trouble or whatever.
Right.
I don't think we've said anything explicit,
no.
But why do we have to be so careful with this?
Because
we haven't even said anything. Matt Walsh can literally I was just watching this video on Majority Report where they were covering what Matt Walsh was saying about the Colorado shooter, and this dude is essentially he's saying if the left says that these drag shows are lightning rods for right-wing violence, why do you keep having the drag shows? Dude, that's a threat.
Yeah, that's literally a threat. That's literally saying you need to shut down what you're doing, stop doing it, or this is going to keep happening. That's literally what he's saying.
This is going to keep happening, or we're going to keep coming up, or people who think like I think are going to keep coming, and they're going to keep shooting places up.
Of course, he'll never say the part about how the people doing it are people who think like he thinks. But
but he'll in that video still call LGBTQ people groomers, pedophiles.
Oh yeah, he'll go right
all that.
I mean, look at what Tim Pool said. He literally said, "Well, Club Q was going to have a grooming event. How do we stop things like that?" In response to the shooting. And Tim Pool's supposed to be the milquetoast centrist.
Yeah, what does he call himself?
He calls him
disaffected liberal.
Disaffected liberal and a milquetoast centrist is what he calls himself. Complete bullshit, obviously. I mean, anybody with half a brain can tell you Tim Pool is far right. The only people who deny it are people who are themselves far right. And they just say that because they like to claim someone who's centrist agrees with them.
Me Du Bois in chat is saying, have you seen any of the libs online that are afraid of LGBTQ people posting about taking legitimate steps to appropriate self-defense? Yeah, dude, that's the thing, right? So most liberals, and this is where I run into a lot of frustration, is they view the world as you can just kind of talk it out with everyone. And I think that maybe for most people, right? We've seen the polls. Most Americans are online. They're not online, but they support LGBTQ rights. They think that's something that should be protected. And I think maybe most people, fine, you can talk to. But then, as I said before, you have these extremists, these
Yeah.
open fascists that really all they want to do is kill you. Like that's their
Liberals are just
only
really
political.
fucking bad at picking up on that. Like, they
Yes.
don't seem to know how to
Yes.
recognize when someone is just out there to harm you and nothing else.
Well, they think, oh man, we're playing by the rules, so
Yeah.
everybody's playing by the rules, and it's like, nah,
The
dude.
right wing has
Actually,
never
you're the
played by
only
the
one.
rules.
You're the only one playing by these rules
And like,
that like you
to
made
some
up.
extent, if you're even remotely left, you do kind of have to play by the rules. As you were saying earlier, like, we have to be super careful about what we say, even though the chances of us inciting violence against one of the right by saying something about this is way lower. I mean, you could just look statistically at left-wingers are way less likely to attack their political opponents than right-wingers. Like,
And
it just
such
doesn't
heinous
happen
ways,
nearly
too.
as often. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
like-
occasionally happens, but like, name the last time you can think of that a left-wing person went and shot right-wing people for political reasons. I mean, you think like 4 times it's happened this week the other way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it almost never happens, left-wingers towards right-wing. I can think of one example, and the guy didn't even get a trial. He was murdered. Trump had him murdered by fucking police. You remember that shit? When Trump literally told the cops to go kill that left-winger who killed a right-wing counter-protester at a BLM protest?
Oh, I think I do remember that.
Yeah,
Oh, and
I'm
then I
sure
guess
you
have
covered
that
it at the
Burns
time.
Reporter, right? That shot that during the baseball game.
Oh, that did happen. Yeah.
Okay, so we got 2.
2. We can think of 2. And they both got in killed or prison time. When left-wingers do violence, they are violently suppressed and murdered. Exactly, yeah. When right-wingers do violence, they get... Yeah, when right-wingers do violence, they get the Kyle Rittenhouse treatment. I mean...
That's so true.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, it's weird, like, low-key, and not even low-key. Actually, I take that back.
Yeah, high-key.
High-key. They're going to Rittenhouse this dude. You already see it. There was, do you know Merrick? I don't know where on Twitter. She's like,
Yeah.
Big.
Okay, not a fan, but...
yeah, whether you like her or not. One of the things I did see her post recently, there was this big Catholic account, 14,000 followers, that had a GoFundMe for this dude's, like lawyer costs and shit.
This dude? The Club Q dude?
The Club Q
Jesus
dude.
fucking Christ.
And it's like, what the fuck,
That's,
man? Like,
I mean, I shouldn't be surprised, but that's genuinely just disgusting.
but this is what I mean. Right wingers.
Oh yeah,
fucking
churches should
murder
have lost
people.
their tax exempt status a long time ago, Franny.
Right wingers will fucking murder people in cold blood, and the right, instead of being like, "Oh, this is fucked up," and shouldn't have done this or whatever, they set up GoFundMes.
Right.
Someone
They
on the
either
left
support
does it,
them
right?
or they distance themselves. Those are their only two. They either are like, oh, that wasn't a right winger. He was, like the guy who attacked Nancy Pelosi. Oh, he's a gay fucking prostitute, fucking nudist stripper or whatever the hell they said about him.
And notice here, the predicament that liberals do put us in is that when the right makes these accusations, right, they're talking not about just leftists, but they're throwing liberals in.
Oh yeah, they think they see us as the same thing.
But when a left-leaning person does something like this, liberals don't go around and try to defend us the way that right-wingers all get together.
Right.
Liberals actively try to separate themselves and distance themselves from us because they still believe in the process.
Right.
Ultimately, that is the difference. I think at our core, right? Obviously, there's other ideological stuff, but I think at our core, the difference between liberals and leftists in general is that liberals still believe that the process that we have does.
Liberals have their
work.
issues with the system, but they overall like the system. They want to keep the system. They just want to do little reforms to it. Leftists basically have just realized that's never gonna fucking work. That is kind of the core difference. Yeah, obviously that and just hating capitalism, but that is the system, it kind of goes hand in hand.
Right, exactly.
Churches doing shit like this is the only reason that I understand when people are anti-theist rather than just straight up calling them them. Yeah, no, I still don't call myself anti-theist because anti-theists are a little too hateful on every single individual religious person, but if we're talking religious institution, yeah, there's not a religious... I mean, the Episcopal Church I don't hate. Otherwise, there's not a religious institution that I'm cool with, really.
Organized religion in general is
It's
pretty
just
cringe.
cancer.
I think, yeah, however people choose to
Yeah,
worship
whatever
is
you want to
one
believe
thing.
in your own time is fine.
Yeah, and like I don't really mind that at all. Personally, I'm an atheist, but like it's it's like I don't necessarily have an issue with Catholics. It's the Catholic Church, like
Mm-hmm.
and like so on and so forth. Even though as a former Catholic, Catholics are trash. So fuck all you guys. Just gonna throw
Yeah.
that out there.
Yeah, I know like two cool Catholics, but they both hate the Catholic Church, so
Yeah.
if anybody who's like pro Catholic Church, I'm like,
Oh,
yeah,
well,
no.
actually, now that we're talking about the Catholic Church and we're talking about Club Q and everything, this sort of all wraps up or wraps in together. What I do find incredibly interesting, and I'm sure that we can all agree on this, is that, you hear the right. Everything is groomers and pedophiles.
Hmm.
They don't say shit about the church.
Yeah, they
Not
never talk about the church.
fucking
Look at
shit.
what Matt Walsh
And it's
said.
like,
Matt Walsh said that the fucking Catholic Church doesn't have a pedophile problem; it has a gay priest problem.
dude, yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember when he said that.
The-
How convenient is that?
It's always
How
gays, no
convenient. How
matter what.
convenient.
When it comes to libs of TikTok, Matt Walsh, those types, it's always the gays. No matter what, it's always the gays. It always has to be the gays. And yeah, this whole thing goes right into. I wouldn't be surprised if this lawyer is like best friends with some of these fucking right wing pundits, because this move is just perfect for them. It feels like this lawyer, the lawyer who decided to claim that this Club Q shooter is non-binary, it feels like that was specifically done to throw a bone to people like Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, Libs of TikTok, because they're all running with it. I've got a Ben Shapiro video that's perfect to exemplify what I'm saying pulled up, but let's read some of this and just see their justification. Okay, so the suspect accused of fatally shooting 5 people at an LGBTQ nightclub before being tackled, pistol whipped by bystanders, sat slumped during his first court appearance on Wednesday, bruised, swollen, and uttering slurred responses to the judge's brief. I wish he was in worse shape. Anyway, the suspect, Anderson Lee Aldrich, appeared on video from jail and was ordered to be held without bond. The accused shooter who is being held on suspicion of first-degree murder and hate crimes, is expected to formally be charged at a hearing on December 6th. New details emerged about the suspect as the small, close-knit LGBTQ community in this conservative city hoisted a giant rainbow flag outside City Hall okay, where do they get to public defenders representing the accused shooter disclosed in court paper made late on Tuesday that their client identified as non-binary and used they-them pronouns. One footnote in the filing said that for the purposes of all filings, their client will be addressed as MX. How do you actually say that? Do you know how you say the MX? I've never said it out loud. The MX, is it just Mix? Mix Aldrich? See, so it's a public defender. Do you think the shooter himself is the one claiming this? Like, just to troll?
I think that he is the one that said he was non-binary.
Well, yeah, okay, because I've only heard that the fucking lawyers claimed it. But this is making it sound like the shooter. Should we call them or like, I don't buy it at all, but I guess we can go with they them.
Look, to be honest, and this is coming from a cis dude. Fuck this guy.
Yeah, no, I do completely agree. If they were actually non-binary, if there was any semblance of a chance in my mind that they were actually non-binary, despite what they did, I would still call them they them.
Absolutely. No, me too.
I just don't remotely buy it.
But yeah, like I think given what happened and given what we know right now.
Yeah, given what we know about that, like I just don't buy it. I think
that it's absolutely like appropriate to not
pretend to go along with this.
Yeah, because you know what it does? I think that genuinely, like, then this gives credence. And so it's not that it gives credence, but like optically, right? Like optically, it gives credence to the idea that, you know what? Oh yeah, like this is a crazy dude and he was non-binary.
Right.
Like, and I think that no, like we shouldn't, that's not a responsibility that should be put on to the LGBTQ community. And that is something that belongs to to him.
Yeah.
You know, that is something that
No, I
this
agree.
guy
I
has to
agree.
take responsibility for. You know, like that. I don't know. That's my view.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. And if there's a non-binary person out there that's like, nah, we should still refer to it, and they want to correct me, by all means. But that's just my instinct right now.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. Okay. Looking at the evidence, you said they haven't released what they think the motive is. I mean, it should be obvious. Lawyers for the suspect did not respond to requests for comment. Of course they fucking didn't. Kristen Prata Broud, that's a hard name to say, I hope I didn't butcher it, a co-chair of the National Trans Bar Association, said that the suspect's gender identity should have no bearing on whether or not they can be prosecuted for a hate crime. Yeah, it's very obvious it was a hate crime. I mean, it's not like people, like, even if this person was non-binary, it's not like they couldn't have still done this because they're like an internalized transphobe who thinks all other trans, you know, like Blair White types. I'm not saying Blair White would shoot up a bar. I don't think she would, but like,
no, but I think that the self-hatred is evident.
yeah, it can absolutely be a thing. She and her legal experts said it would be best for the court and prosecutors to respect that. Yeah, of course, in court, it's best of them to just. The prosecutor shouldn't be calling him he, him, even though we all know. Just optically, that would look bad. I'm torn. I'd commit because by not using they, them pronouns, it could come off as willingly misgendered someone who's done something wrong, evil, but almost certainly. Yeah, it's almost certainly a troll move. That's my thing. Because, yeah, of course I wouldn't, like, if this person had been going by they, them for a while, like, if this was a confirmed thing and they did this, I would absolutely call them they, them. But there's zero chance in my mind that this isn't just a troll move to try and, I mean, they're trying to get out of the hate crime charges, and they're trying to throw a bone to their...
Yeah, that's also how I feel. Like, I just feel like it's such an obvious, like...
Yeah, it's so obvious
like
in this
bait.
case.
Like, it's just...
It's
like,
bait,
it's such obvious bait crap, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, they really want to get you to, like, fall for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like... I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm coming at it from a cis perspective. So, like, maybe I'm totally, like, off, you know?
Right.
And I'm willing to acknowledge that. But it's just, like, my gut instinct is just, like, nah, like, he's trying to play us.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Okay. Stan Garnett, the former district attorney in Boulder, Colorado, said he did not know of any legal rules that required Colorado prosecutors or judge to honor the defendant's... Well, that would be bad form to ignore. Yeah, but said it would be bad form to ignore. Yeah, no, I agree. In court, they should just go with what they say. Whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't... It's just going to hurt them to try and go against it. When the suspect was arrested, the police listed 5 potential counts of murder and 5 counts of what Colorado state law refers to as bias-motivated crimes, meaning that they were motivated, at least in part, by bias concerning a victim's race, nationality, religion, disability, sexual orientation, or gender identity. Such crimes are more widely known as hate crimes. Yeah, it's very... if even the cops noted it down as a hate crime, we all know how bad the cops are at fucking recognizing a hate crime. According to the police and witnesses, the attacker, clad in body armor, burst into the nightclub just before midnight on Saturday and opened fire with a long gun, killing 5 people and injuring 18 others before being tackled by people inside the club. So yeah, it's not even like they were in the club, hanging out in the club like an LGBTQ patron would be, and then shot it up. They literally went there to shoot it up. Like, that to me... Yeah. That to me does not seem like the narrative that right-wingers are trying to claim at this point, that they were just a patron of the club and went fucking crazy. One club patron and Army veteran grabbed a handgun from the assailant, pummeled them bloody. That guy, I've seen videos of that guy, that dude is a fucking hero, and fucking right-wingers are calling him a groomer already. Yeah, one based veteran, right? They're calling him a groomer already. They're saying, why? I think it was Jack Posobiec. Let me see if I can find this tweet.
Yo, support the troops until one of them comes out to be gay.
Yeah.
Support the troops, bro. Support the troops until they stop a mass murder.
I can't find it, but the Human Rights Report covered it. I think it was Jack Posobiec. I could be wrong. But there was a right-winger, 100% sure. Yeah, I do actually know a decent amount of veterans who are based. A lot of them realize once they go into the Army that holy shit, this shit is fucked up. Of course, I wish they realized it before they went into the army, but yeah. One of right winger. I'm almost positive it was Jack Posobiec. Said, like, do we want to talk about the fact that this higher up in the military or whatever is taking his kids to fucking a gay bar? That was his response to this guy. Yeah, many veterans were groomed into joining. You're 100% right, Franny. I completely agree. Actually, me and Arturo talked about this on his stream the other day. A little bit. About how people need to recognize that. You don't have to give a pass to people for joining the army. You can point out that that's bad, while also pointing out that they may have been groomed into it, and they're not just fucking necessarily monsters for it, you know?
That's the real grooming, honestly.
Right, yeah, 100%.
That really is, like, the real grooming.
Yeah.
And we do that shit everywhere, like, out in the open.
I saw it happen at my own fucking high school.
Bro, they have people, they have Army and, you know, Marine, Navy, Air Force people, recruiters, come into your high school.
Mm-hmm.
You're not 18. You're not an adult.
No, often they're like 16 years old.
You're speaking to 15, 16, 17-year-old without their parents present. And you're telling them, hey, come join the military, you know, for whatever reason, do whatever you want, see the world, free college, whatever. And you're thinking that this is a sweet deal because you're a fucking 17-year-old kid who's an idiot, let's be honest.
Who's probably,
right? You're not,
most of the time they target the kids who are poor, too.
Yeah, like
so
you're
probably
like
thinking
broke,
about how maybe
you
you
know.
could help your family if you did this.
Exactly. But even beyond that, like, you're 17, you're
you're
naive.
stupid.
Like, you're naive.
Nobody's
like,
okay, they're smart 17-year-olds, but they're not mature enough to get this. Like, almost none of them are mature enough to get the choice they're
exactly
making. Yeah.
And, you know, you end up, you know, for some of them, I'm sure, you know, do very well and don't have to, you know, whatever. But, like, many of them also, you know, don't have too many great lives after that. Many of them have to see combat and shit. Like, you're signing yourself up for you're literally giving your life to the government.
You
know,
like people call sex work selling your body. Joining the military is selling your body. Let's be straight about this.
Yeah.
Like, at most, sex work is selling. Is like renting out your body, you know, like it's the fucking all labor is selling your body, right?
No,
Totally.
Labor is labor is selling your body.
Yeah, physical labor all has a toll.
At least with sex work, you're not given a gun,
right?
You know, hey, dude, you like I might need you to go murder someone. Yeah, I might need you to go murder somebody.
Right, 100%.
You know,
like military is the worst example of selling your body. Like you're literally saying, "Oh, I'm willing to die for this," you know? Like cuz you might get sent into fucking combat, obviously.
And not only are you willing to die, but are you willing to kill for it?
Yeah, kill too. Kill someone who probably doesn't deserve it.
Yeah, and that's, you know, like, and mind you, and they're pitching this shit to children.
Mm-hmm.
And before all that, we're seeing, you know, how cool the uniforms look and everything at every sports match on TV.
Every military movie, military game glorifies it
military
too.
movie game,
I wanted to join the military when I was a kid because of Call of Duty games. Literally, they glorify that shit that much.
When I first met my
military
well, now she's my wife. I was gonna say my fiance, but when I first met her, I was gonna join the army because I was fucking broke.
Mm-hmm.
I literally had no money. I didn't have any plan. You know, like, and I was like, fuck it, like I need to do something. You know, and like, so it's, you know, I mean, I met her when I was a little old stuff. You know, I wasn't in high school anymore, but so my experience is a little different from the norm, but the point that I'm making is, you know, and is, you know, that is what the real grooming is, you know, like we're actively putting these ideas in like kids' head, you know, and we're telling them like, oh, you're going to have a good life. You're going to, you know, whatever, you know, all this stuff, you're going to look cool, all that. And we're not really telling them like what's really behind it. We're not really having 100%. Them think critically about it.
Franny says, glad I successfully derailed the conversation. It's okay though. This is a good topic, but we could get back to what we were talking about now.
Yeah.
In the wake of the attack, survivors and their families have focused on whether the suspect's family or law enforcement officials could have intervened before the attack. They could have. Whether Colorado's red flag laws could have been used, they could have. Like, this dude had massive fucking red flags. I don't know if you've looked into that shit yet, but yeah. Law enforcement officials have said the suspect was arrested last year outside of Colorado Springs after the suspect's mother reported being threatened by the suspect about a homemade bomb and other weapons. That's one of the stories I've heard.
Oh, yeah.
How can someone who does that then go and buy a fucking gun? How can you threaten your own mom with bombs and then legally buy a gun? Fuck you, Franny. That's absurd. Like, you know, I'm, like, not just, like, a pure anti-gun person by any means. But if you have already made threats with weapons, you should not be able to buy a gun. Like,
Yeah.
that is so obvious. That should be fucking common sense. Even right-wingers should agree with that, but I'm sure they probably fucking don't. I'm okay with it for hunting. I mean, as far as America goes, I'm okay with it for self-defense because we're kind of in a situation where we need it. The thing is, though, we do have to be paying attention to who is buying guns, you know? If people, like I said, we talked about on this on Arturo's stream as well, if you've been a domestic abuser, that's a really high likelihood you go on to commit a shooting. So if you've committed, basically in my mind, if you've committed any form of violence, if you've confirmed committed, like, assault of any kind, you probably shouldn't be able to buy a gun, dude. Like, I mean, that just seems obvious. Yo, what up, Ron? But anyway, so, said the suspect was arrested last.
Roncito.
How's this? Oh, suspect was not prosecuted. Yeah, so he got away with that, with the homemade bomb threat. Interviews in public.
That's crazy.
Yeah, fucking ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Again, imagine if a openly
Like, they didn't even
left-wing
bring him
person
in?
had done this. I assume they brought it in, but he was never prosecuted. Imagine if someone who was, like, openly part of Antifa did that. Dude, they'd be black-bagged, dude. They'd never see the fucking light of day.
Yeah.
Interviews and public records revealed that the suspect had a troubled childhood, of course, marked with frequent moves. The suspect's mother and father divorced when the suspect was less than 2 years old. Each parent had problems with substance abuse. That much I could tell about the dad from the video. And a history of arrests. None of that is fucking a valid excuse, but of course the defense is going to bring that shit up as, like, a sob story. We've all been through our shit. I know tons of people who are abused way worse than this shit. I hate linking these in chat, but Blake, what's up? Made America's gun super owners with an average... Jesus Christ. Okay, we can look at this after the other stuff I've got pulled up. Yeah, but of course the defense is going to try and paint him as, like, you know, a victim of abuse and all that. And if he was, that sucks. But I know tons of people who have been through the same shit he has and don't do this shit, so... In 2016, the suspect's grandparents, acting as guardians, referred to the suspect as male in court documents they filed in Texas court to request a name change. Yeah, because he changed his name, but he just didn't want to fucking... It was because he didn't want to be, considered, like, connected to his dad because of all the shit his dad has done, if I remember correctly. Father also... Yeah, it was because of his dad, it says that right there. By the time the suspect's father, Aaron Franklin Brink, had been arrested numerous times in California on charges related to drug use and erratic driving. I just said erotic. If he got charged for erotic driving, that would be way more based. Yeah. Dude got charged for some roadhead, bro. Mr. Brink said in an interview at his home in San Diego that his ex-wife, Laurel Vopel, told him years ago that their child had changed their name because they were embarrassed by their father. Mr. Brink said Miss Vopel had told him that their child had died. What the fuck? And that he believed that to be the case until several months ago. Jesus Christ. When Mr. Brink and the suspect reconnected by phone. Okay, that's wild. Dude thought his kid was dead for years? What the fuck? Mr. Brink said the phone call devolved into an argument and that at one point his child threatened to beat him up. Yeah,
I mean,
Yet he said it ended amicably. Jesus Christ.
wait, what?
Oh,
No, this story is wild.
It is wild.
The phone call started off. So this guy thought his kid was dead. The kid
calls him
out
and
of
threatens to
nowhere,
beat him up.
threatens to beat him up. But
And then
the
it
end of
ends
the
cool.
conversation is like, all right, dude, I guess I'll see you later. Like,
Not that surprising, honestly, knowing these guys. So this is another wrinkle. So you know how the fucking dad on video was like, oh yeah, we're Mormons. We're not cool with fucking gays, dude. We're Mormons. Did you know he's a porn star?
get the fuck out of here.
Mr. Brink, who said he had worked as a pornographic actor and was now a mixed martial arts coach, described himself as a religious conservative Republican who condemned gun violence. He didn't hear him condemn gun violence in the fucking video I saw. He acknowledged that he had voiced strong disapproval of gay people when the child was younger. Even so, in an interview, Mr. Brink expressed sympathy for the family. I didn't see that either. Maybe they eventually fucking got it out of him, but his first reaction was, oh, I'm so glad my kid's not gay. The suspect's mother reported having a decades-long battle with mental illness and having a difficult upbringing that seemed to stem from troubles at home, according to mental evaluation filed in court. Do you think they're going to try and use the, insanity type defense? I wouldn't be surprised. You know that's what... I mean, right-wingers are already running with a non-binary thing, but you know they're also going to say he was just, like, a deranged, crazy person. That's what they always say. All these shooters are just deranged, crazy people. They all just have mental health problems. Never mind the statistics that show that most people who commit these shootings, even relative to the number of people who have mental health issues, it is mostly people who do not have mental health issues. It's usually politically motivated. Or it's usually either politically motivated or like a scorned lover type deal.
Funny
it's rare for it to be
I guess it's...
Go ahead.
I guess it's not funny necessarily, but maybe that's not the right word. I guess ironic.
Yeah.
Because usually the lone wolf, they're crazy excuse is reserved for when the shooter is like a white dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's that they want to distance themselves
he was just
from
crazy.
Being part of. Yeah, he was just crazy, right? But this time, he was just crazy. He's whatever. That fits into their narrative, except that they're probably not going to say that he was like a lone wolf. They're going to be like, it's because he was
gay. Yeah, they're going to...
because he was gay or non-binary, you know. And
yeah, they're definitely going to... I think they'll focus more on that, but they're still going to say he was just crazy. They are.
Yeah, exactly.
They always have to say everybody who commits violence. Oh, it's just mental health. It's just mental health problems. We need to work on mental health.
And then do nothing about it.
Yeah, and then do nothing about it, literally.
Nothing about it.
But no, these... What?
Take away the funding for it.
Take away the funding for it, literally, yeah. No, these, cases of criminally insane people are very sensationalized. And to be fair, there's an aspect of it that inherently lends itself to being sensationalized. Because when criminally insane people commit murders and shit like this, they do it in a way that, is harder for regular people to understand. You know, their actions are more confusing for the average regular person. So, it lends itself to a more sensationalized narrative. But if you actually look at the statistics, these cases of criminally insane people just snapping and killing people for no reason, they're exceedingly rare. They're the ones that true crime channels and stuff love to talk about. And I get it, again, they have their sensational elements. But they're the most rare ones. It's usually a husband or a political reason. It's almost always something like that. Even serial killers even are rare. But they're not typically found as having been caused by any sort of mental issue. Did they freeze? Did we?
No.
I
mean, I don't think so. I've been watching the stream. Maybe we were just standing really still.
Yeah, I'm not moving until now.
Yeah, I wasn't really moving for a minute.
Let me see. I just reloaded.
It's gonna...
No, yeah, we're good.
Doing a little dance.
You good, dogs? Yeah, I thought so. Okay, anyway. She was charged in California with public intoxication in 2008, with driving under the influence, possession of a controlled substance. The mother was placed on 5 years probation in Texas. Yeah, so, of course the kid... I'm not surprised that the kid came from a family with a lot of issues, but... In a psychiatric evaluation filed with the court, Ms. Vopel told the court-ordered psychologist that her troubles began... So is this... Oh, okay, this is all due to her problems. Do they get further into anything with why they're calling him non-binary? Yeah, no. They literally just... Yeah, they just said he's non-binary. So then I have another one pulled up. about how what you mentioned, his friends all say they never said they were non-binary. It was never a thing. The person police say murdered 5 people and is responsible for injuring 25 others appeared in El Paso County, Colorado court Wednesday via a video link from the Okay, it's going over some of the same stuff. Hero's daughter, Cassie, boyfriend, affectionate member of family. To media, Navy added. Okay, trying to find where they talk about.
They did fuck him up nice, though.
They did, yeah. Look at that shit.
They fucked him up nice.
Yeah, you can see the heel mark, the fucking right there.
Yeah.
The fucking that hero talked about
right
how he specifically told
a
a scared drag queen who was running by to stomp on his face, and she did. Or I guess I don't know. Drag queen could have been a he him, but drag queen. Either way, they did. Whoever the drag queen was. Here in charge of it. Where does it talk about the non-binary shit? Included in the court test, use they them pronouns. They're calling, but they're calling him right here. District attorney. Yeah, they're literally calling his own. They're quoting his own fucking lawyer is calling him right here. What? You got to stick to your story, bro. Neighbor of the sun. Here we go.
That was a good catch.
Yeah.
That was a good catch. I probably would have read right past that. That was a really good catch.
Yeah, so his own neighbors and friends talk about how he expressed constantly that he didn't like the LGBTQ community. Pretty sure at one point he expressed he hated the LGBT. Yeah. Aldrich vocalized verbally using a derogatory term for them. Probably the F slur or queer, I guess. But he added that many other outbursts were racial. Not surprising. This is the not the type of person I would take around my gay friends, he said.
All right, so I don't know. It's a pretty closed case for me, dude. Like
I'm not seeing any. Oh, here's that video. We can go ahead and look at this video because this shit is insane.
Tonight, including the fact that Anderson Aldrich is not his birth name.
Aldrich's father tells CBS his son was born in San Diego, and the name on his
maybe
birth
this has a little bit
certificate
more of
is
the
Nicholas Brink. CBS 8's David Garverton talked
details.
with his father today at his home in Sherman.
Oh wait, I can't hear it because I have your stream muted.
Oh yeah. Can I share?
Wait, hold on. I'll what's the link?
Oh yeah, you just pull it up too. Here, I'll link it in chat. Chat my pants laughing. Okay, there's the link. It's the link to the fucking
to the
article, but it's just a little ways down in it. I'll start it from the beginning. Let me know when you've got it pulled up. It looks like a failed porn star. He is a failed porn star. Huh?
Want to do like a countdown, I guess?
Yeah, that works. All right.
So, 1, 2, 3, go.
We are learning more about the alleged gunman tonight, including the fact that Anderson Aldrich is not his birth name.
Aldrich's father tells CBS 8
See, they're calling him
born in San Diego, and the name on his birth certificate is Nicholas Brink.
Yeah.
CBS 8's David Garverton talked with his father today at his home in Sherman Heights.
I love my son no matter what. I love my son.
Until 6 months ago, Aaron Brink thought his son had committed suicide.
I thought he was dead. I mourned his loss.
He says his ex-wife had called him
Wild.
from Colorado in 2016 to tell him their son, Nicholas Brink, had changed his name to Anderson Aldrich and then killed himself.
Do you have any idea why he changed his name?
Yes. His mother told me he changed his name because I was on intervention and I've been a porno actor.
He was on intervention?
You heard correctly. At the time, Brink
Dude,
was
this guy's had a
acting in Los
fucking
Angeles
Jesus Christ.
in porno movies. For 6
Yeah, he was on
years,
intervention,
thought
the
his son
dad.
Was dead until Aldrich called him
Yeah,
on
Lindy
the
watches
blue
that show
last
all the
year
time.
and started arguing with him over the phone.
That's such a wild story.
He wants to poke at the old man.
Fast forward
Did he
to 2
just
days
wait? I know.
ago, Brink
I
got
think
a
I'm
call
like
from his
running
son's
like a couple
defense
seconds behind you.
attorneys
But did
telling
he
him
just
Aldrich was involved in a
randomly
shooting at an
bring up the fact that he used to
in
be a
Colorado
porn
Springs.
actor? Like he
No,
just threw that
he's-
in there.
He said that was why
And
his part of the
first
reason his son was
reaction
so
why was my son at a gay bar?
You know, Mormons don't do
embarrassed
gay.
of
We don't
him.
do gay. There's no gays.
Oh, okay. I missed that
Gay.
part. All right, I was about to say. I was like, why is he just talking
was
about this?
unloading
Like,
appliances at his home in Sherman Heights. When he learned more details of the deadly shooting, he was shocked.
There's no excuse for going and killing people. If you're killing people, there's something wrong. This is not the
This is
answer.
all after
Brink says his
the parts
son was
I've seen
born
where
here
he
in San
literally said
Diego
that he
at
encouraged
Sharp Mary
violence,
Bush
though.
Hospital in 2000. He and his wife lived in Cardiff by the Sea at the time, but they soon got divorced. Brink currently works as a mixed martial arts coach. He says he taught his son how to fight.
I praised him for violent
This part.
behavior really early. I showed him that it works. It's instant, and you'll get immediate results.
But in the wake of the
It's
violence
instant
at
and you'll
Club
get
Q,
immediate
Brink
results.
is changing his tune.
Life is just so fragile and it's valuable. Those people's lives are valuable. You know, they're valuable. They're good
Do you
people.
remember what you said
You
10
know,
seconds ago?
It's not like you kill somebody over. You know, kill. I'm sorry. I let my son down.
At one point in that interview, we informed Brink that Colorado does not have the death penalty. He folded his hands in front of him, looked up, and said, "Thank God."
David,
He probably supports the death
first
penalty.
reaction of that father when he heard about the shooting happening at a gay bar, some anti-gay sentiments there.
dude, this guy does not feel
did
any type
express
of
some
remorse
anti-gay
at all for anything his son
sentiments
did.
very
He's talking
bluntly,
about how, you
and
know,
we did
like
not
we don't do
include those
gay, we're
comments
we're
in
Mormons,
our
we don't do
report.
gay in the
I
church. I
will say
praised him
once
for
he found
violence. I
out
taught him
how
how to
many
do
people
this. Oh, by
died
the
and how
way,
many
like,
people
of
were
course I would
injured,
never encourage
he
violent behavior.
apologized over and
But
over again.
I did tell him that if he did do violent behavior, it would get him instant results
Yeah.
immediately. Like, dude, no, you're
And the fact that his first fucking response was, "Oh God, is my son gay?" Yeah, he's crazy high, RJ. Like, I don't think it's just alcohol. After rewatching, it's alcohol and something else. Oh, I needed to turn the audio up. Well, fuck. It's too late now. I'm sure you guys have all seen that video by now, right? Like, or not that
That
specific
dude's
one, but the
crazy.
clips of him. I said this like 4 fucking times now. I believe you. I just wasn't looking. Pay attention to chat. It's hard. There's a lot going on. Okay, well, I'll turn the audio up for the Ben Shapiro one.
Well,
Let me get...
the narrative was fully.
Oh, this video's way louder.
Oh, wait, I have an idea. Do you know what Watch Together is?
Yeah, can't you do that on Discord?
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Send me
should be able
that.
to do that. Oh yeah, I gotta actually pull up. Hang on.
Because then I can listen in on real time. Because I think when I was watching, my computer loaded a little slower than yours.
Yeah. Would it just be share your screen?
No, just send me. So, pick the video that you want to watch together, and
Yeah.
then there should be like a link that says that will allow me to just go into that chat room.
Okay. In the conversation here?
Yeah. Yeah. Just send it to me like on Discord though, like in our chat.
Wait, just send you the link there, or?
Yeah, to the Watch Together.
Oh, to the watch together. But how do you do that?
You go to Watch Together and you look for the YouTube video that you want to watch.
Where's watch together?
It's a website.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's the part I was missing here. Watch together.
Oh shit! I completely misunderstood what you were saying. That was hilarious, actually.
So it's
That was really,
watch
really
together on Discord, or just...
No, just I think it's like watchtogether.com or something like that. And basically
WTG.com. Create your room.
Yes.
Okay. Enable... No, that's fine. Join the room. Okay, I get it. Okay. Then I just need to send you... What the fuck? It's playing an ad. That's possibly copyrighted. Playlist. Search. Will just the YouTube link, will that pull it up? No?
Yeah, and then just put it in the search bar there.
Oh, up here, up here. Got it. Wait, I just copy-pasted the fucking... God damn it, I gotta re-copy-paste the video itself. Fuck me. That's in here. No, I don't want to watch it right
the narrative was fully formed. Fully formed. As soon, literally... Well, the narrative...
watch together. Okay. Here we go. All right, so you're in this room already?
Wait.
Well, the narrative was fully...
God damn, my computer's so slow sometimes. It's so annoying.
I can, I assume the link is still the same, but I can click it again. Yeah, it is still the same.
Oh, let me close this out, actually.
Scuffed streamer. Yeah. Actually, I have to pee really bad. While you're figuring out how to get in here, I'm gonna go pee real quick. I'll be right back. Go ahead and run an ad.
Yeah, run.
Oh, feel better. All right, I'm back.
Okay, it tells me that the code that you sent is invalid.
What? Weird.
Let me try this one.
The second one?
Oh, okay, the second one. Let me try that one. Yeah, it says invalid access code.
What?
All right, hold on. What's the Ben Shapiro video?
It's Legacy Media Twist the Narrative. Temporary room. Copy.
Okay.
Let me try copying this. I don't know if this is different. There's like an actual copy button. Let's meet on one. It's still the same thing, I think. Try clicking that one, though. Temporary room. Is it open? Members online. All members. Trying to figure out, like, is the room locked or something? Is that my problem here?
No, it shouldn't be. Oh, we're both in there.
We are both in there now. Okay, sweet, sweet.
Yep.
All right. All right, let me pull chat back up. Because I see why the guy who I watched a video from telling me how to set up this the Discord on Twitch thing where your video is here said it would be best to have 3 screens.
Yeah, I'm starting to see that now.
Yeah. All right.
Well, the narrative was fully formed. Fully formed. As soon, literally the moment, that there was a shooting at a gay nightclub in Colorado Springs, Colorado, the entire legacy media infrastructure, every major Democrat in America decided this was the fault of libs of TikTok and Tucker Carlson and Matt Walsh.
It is.
Chris Rufo and me and any other American who did not like Drag Queen Story Hour or who was not in favor of same-sex.
So notice here how he just completely downplays it.
Yeah.
As it's the fault. It's our fault because we just don't like drag shows.
Right. Yeah,
Not
that's
Ben.
because
It's
that's the
not-
only thing I've ever talked about.
Yeah, dude. It's not that you just don't like
Right.
shows. Look,
And it's
I mean,
not, it's also not on every American who doesn't like drag shows. It's on people like you, Ben. People like you who publicly fucking share on a massive platform all this, like, hateful propaganda.
and you know what? Like, I would even go as far as to say, like, no one even gives a fuck if Ben Shapiro personally does not support gay marriage.
No.
What people give a fuck about is that you're going around trying to convince and encourage legislation that will prevent other people
Yeah.
from living their lives.
And
Whatever
spreading
you
propaganda
personally
about
fear
how they're
about
all
it,
groomers and shit like that.
exactly. Like that's the issue here, Ben. It's not that you just don't like it. No one gives a fuck about what you
Yeah.
just don't like.
If you don't like it, you don't like it. Whatever, bro. I don't like you.
Yeah, exactly. But they have to play it that way because
Yeah.
they know that if they're honest with their position, they're gonna sound like fucking psychopaths.
way worse. Yeah. 100%.
Or who believe that transing the children is a bad thing. It was all our fault. It was our fault. It
Transing
was
the
your fault.
children.
If you believe that there's anything wrong with any of those things, then it is your fault if a deranged individual
one
goes to a
said
gay
that.
nightclub and shoots a bunch of people. Now, the narrative was crap from the beginning. It's crap because unless you are inciting violence, actively
are.
calling for people to do violence to other human beings, you are not responsible.
You're
for the
one
violence
step away
that they
from
do.
actively.
This has been the rule.
Okay, so see, this is the issue. For Ben, inciting violence is if you literally say the words, go
Go
murder
kill these
this
people.
person.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything short of that is not
100%.
inciting
Dog
violence.
whistles don't
So-
exist. Right wingers will
so,
literally
yeah.
tell you dog whistles don't exist.
You can call them groomers, pedophiles, say
Yeah.
that they're gonna be, harming your kids, they're trying to break up
You
your
can even get to the
family,
point of
they're
being like,
society.
what do we expect to happen? You can even get to that
Yep.
point.
Yeah, you can
And
get to that
you're
point.
still
You can
not
pass
inciting violence.
legislation. You
Yeah.
can pass legislation against them. You can do everything that we've seen, right?
Yeah.
Not inciting violence though, because, and you know what the thing is. So Ben here, right? He believes that there should be legislation to prevent people from doing right from like same-sex marriage, right?
Mhm.
He believes that people should be prevented from doing that. How is that not a call to violence, like on behalf of the state?
It is.
You're literally asking the state to, because if then there is a consequence, right? If people do it, if there's a law against it and people do it, and it's criminalized or whatever or outlawed, there's some type of consequence that follows.
Yeah,
that's then
100%.
enforced by the people who have all the guns.
Exactly.
Like,
And yeah, Ogle just made a good point. Basically what they're doing is saying all these gay people are groomers and the cops are doing nothing about it. What do you expect people to do in response to that if they believe you? They're gonna they're gonna take it into their own hands. You're effectively saying there's a problem and the only way to solve it is personal violence. You may not be actually saying that second part, but you're pointing out all the ways that there's no other solution, and then just leaving it up to
you're implicitly
you're just leaving it up to your fucking viewers' discretion after that, knowing who your viewers are.
You're hoping that they'll just be able to figure it out.
Yeah, especially someone like Matt is absolutely hoping for the violence, 100%. I think Ben probably is too, but with Matt, it's blatantly clear that he wants this shit to happen. Matt Walsh.
Yeah, Matt Walsh absolutely wants it to happen. Ben Shapiro also wants it to happen.
I think he
but
probably
he's
does.
Too
Yeah.
pussy. He's too pussy to actually say it.
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
he has open about it as Matt Walsh.
I think that's
Matt
probably
Walsh.
true.
Matt Walsh really will bring it like up to the point, and then like say everything short of that,
He'll get as
like,
close as he can legally get to saying you should kill gay people. Like Matt Walsh literally comes an inch from that, whereas Ben Shapiro keeps the dog whistles up a little bit more for sure. Oh, I just tried to do it at the same time as you.
For literally ever. And yet, the left jumped out in front of the story before they even bothered to wait for any facts at all and said that essentially the uptick in sentiment against the transing of the children was responsible for a mass shooting at a gay nightclub. Because this is the game that they always play. It doesn't matter whether the person was deranged. It doesn't matter
already
if the
going
person
for the
had
crazy.
a long history of red flags that were ignored by police. It doesn't matter.
You're the one that
whether
loves
the-
police.
now all of a sudden they care about red flag laws.
Yeah, what?
Now all of a sudden it's why wasn't there better gun control?
Yeah.
Why didn't they stop this guy from getting a
Right.
gun, bro? He was crazy. Like, come on, man.
Y'all are the reason that we
No.
don't have this.
Wow, Ben. Wow. I see.
Big
I
brain.
see why you're the whiz kid of the right, bro.
Right.
I get it. I get it.
Oh man.
Square in the round hole or not. The narrative is always and forever, my political opponents are responsible for murder, therefore there must be a censorship regime. That was the narrative. Now, all they had to do was wait for the facts. And
Censorship.
What the fuck?
Who
Like,
said
how did
anything
we
about
get?
censorship?
Yeah, what the dude? My man really took the slippery slope and,
Yeah.
to the extreme
Fucking
there. I don't
ran
know
with
what
it.
that had to do with anything.
it's important to remember this. This shooting did not happen all that long ago. The shooting happened just days ago. All the members of the media had to do was wait for the facts, which is, in fact, their job. Now, I understand we have a media infrastructure that rewards people who are first and wrong rather than rewarding people who wait and
That's
are
the
right.
first true
That is just
thing
how our
he
media
said.
infrastructure generally works now.
That
If you
is-
jump on a
that's
story
actually
and it
true.
turns out that you're wrong 90% of the time, but 10% of the time you're
Nah,
right.
it doesn't
you
apply
remember
to
the 10%
this,
of
but
the
that
time
is
that you're
true.
right, and we forget the 90% of the time you're wrong because you were first, and that's the really important thing.
Also, like Ben, like you're talking about yourself, bro.
Yeah, no, he does the same thing. He absolutely does the same thing. But he is right that the way our media is set up, it's all about breaking the news
absolutely.
first. It doesn't matter if you get it right. He would never normally mention that. He's just bringing that up because it fits his narrative now, but he is right on a technicality in that clip.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And so there really is no disincentive for members of the media to create fully formed narratives completely in coincidence with democratic priorities and then to just run those out there. Because after all, if they're wrong, we'll just memory hole it. 3 months from now, nobody's going to remember that the media made a complete mockery of themselves. Nobody's going to remember that all the media had to do was wait
So
for a
all
few
this
days.
is
Now, what am I
because
talking about here? What
the
I'm
dude's
talking about here is the
non-binary,
news this
supposedly?
morning that the
Yeah.
The fact that they're non-binary means that nothing any of these supposedly non-binary just means automatically that nothing any of these dudes said played a role, that it can't possibly be a hate crime. Like they really, if something that flimsy is enough.
it's it was the silver bullet they were
Yeah.
waiting for. You know,
Legit.
like
That's why it feels like the shooter himself set this all up because he loves people like Matt Walsh and Ben Shapiro and wanted to give them an out.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me. Franny says it's just a troll. I 100% buy that too. I think it's a troll too, but I could also see this dude literally being a fan of these right-wing pundits and wanting to give them an out like that. I genuinely think that could be the case. Can you watch porn on
I
Watch
wouldn't be
Together? Probably. I don't fucking know. No, it's just YouTube, isn't it?
yeah.
Colorado is non-binary according to his attorneys. Poof goes the narrative. It's gone. Watch how fast the
I'm
story
still
gets
going to
memory
call
holed
him
down.
him, though, right,
According
Ben?
to Axios.com, the public defenders for the suspect in the mass shooting at a Colorado Springs LGBTQ nightclub said in a Tuesday night court filing obtained by a New York Times reporter, their client is non-binary and uses they-them pronouns, and the media are confused and bewildered and puzzled because, after all, this throws a wrench into all of their greatest hopes and
No.
desires regarding the narrative.
No, it
Now,
doesn't,
remember, from the
even
very
if it's true.
Yeah, dude. Even if it's true, it doesn't change a single goddamn
No.
thing that you guys are genocidal
Yeah.
freaks.
It
that
doesn't
will
change the
say
fact that the dude's on record
anything.
being a huge homophobe, queerphobe. Like, it doesn't change the fact that he is on record saying he wants to do shit like this. Like, it's very clear what his motivation was, even if he is non-binary, which he's not. 100%.
And it also doesn't change anything. Like, it doesn't remove any of the responsibility that right-wing pundits like Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, and the politicians that use the same rhetoric. It doesn't take any of the responsibility
No.
away from them either. Like,
No.
none of it at all. They're all still genocidal
Yeah,
freaks.
there's a reason
end of
this
the
stuff
day.
happens at gay bars and shit like that more often. There's a reason that there's a higher chance that this will happen to a gay person or a queer person in general, and it's very obviously because of rhetoric like what Ben says. Even if this one case was an example of it, even though it clearly is, they'd still be, generally speaking, at fault for the uptick in violence against queer people. I mean, it's so obvious. It correlates so heavily with people like him saying shit like this.
Yeah.
the beginning, it was perfectly obvious this person was deranged. How did we know this person was deranged? Not just because they committed a mass shooting, which is deranged activity, but also because we knew within hours that this person had been arrested last year for threatening his mother with a gun and threatening to blow her up with a homemade bomb before the police arrested him and then didn't take away his guns.
Bro,
What?
That's your people, dog.
Yeah, what the
That's
fuck,
your
man?
people, dog.
This the shit
What
we've
are
been
you
saying
talking
for
about,
years, dude.
What are you talking about, homie?
What?
Like, you can't complain about this. I'm sorry. Like,
No,
you
he has
have
zero
no-
right to complain about
no
this. This
space
is
to
your
complain.
fault, Ben. You are
no
the one
space to complain.
who doesn't want these red flag laws to be able to exist and take away people's guns for saying shit like that. You're the one, you and all your right-wing pundits are the ones who don't want to take guns away from anyone at all, and you know it. You know you're full of shit right now. Like, what the fuck? Look at his face. You can see it on his face. He knows he's full of shit right now. Like, oh my God.
He's really trying to say that with a straight face.
Literally, dude.
After
the way his lips are, he's trying to hold himself from laughing.
From this point on, I want every time that I want Ben to like come out and be like, I want to see Ben do the Beto O'Rourke every single time that there's a shooting.
Every time there's a shooting, he better be pointing out how the cops could have taken away the dude's guns with red flag laws, because usually that's the case. He better bring that up every fucking time.
Every single time, bro.
So that would be pretty good evidence of being been on the police radar, should it not? But we were told that didn't matter. There were full op-eds in the New York Times saying this was not about mental illness. This was not about deranged violence.
That doesn't mean it's about mental illness.
This is about nothing except for the broad spectrum narrative that the right is evil and must be silenced. And we need to shut it down, shut it all down. We need to...
You know what I don't understand? It's... Republicans are incapable. And not Republicans, but just conservatives and right-wingers in general. They are incapable of holding two thoughts in their mind at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Incapable of it.
Two things can't be true.
A person can be mentally ill and be a victim
even if the dude does
propaganda.
have mental health problems. It could... The fact that...
It's a hot take, I know.
Yeah, no, that's 100% a fact. The fact that even if he does have mental health problems, that fact would not take away from the culpability of right-wing narratives. Like, the dude very clearly bought right-wing narratives about LGBTQ people. That is clearly a factor, even if he's crazy or whatever, which I don't even buy. I'm sure, based on his upbringing and shit, he probably had some mental health issues, but that doesn't mean shit. He probably didn't have any mental health issues I don't have, and I've never fucking shot 5 people in a bar. Like...
Shit's fucking, yeah.
It blows my mind.
Yeah, you effing. We need to stop Elon Musk.
Hang on. I can't have Ben singing wet-ass P-word in my ear at the same time as Ben.
Opening up Twitter to evil, nefarious folk who disagree with us. We need to make sure that everyone we disagree with on YouTube gets demonetized. We have to make sure that the language of the right is never heard again, because that's the only way to assure that gay people don't just get randomly shot at a nightclub.
Yo, Ben's spitting right now.
Yeah, no, we do.
Ben's dropping bars right now.
We do. We need to get the right to shut the fuck up. No, he's right.
Ben is dropping bars right now. Oh my God.
Legit.
Yo, all of a sudden, I am a Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
I'm going to... What's this thing called? Daily Wire? I'm going to get myself a subscription.
Yeah, get a Daily Wire sub.
That was the narrative, and they ran with it. And boy, did they run with it. It has been nonstop blanket narrative coverage since the shooting. And now it turns out that the suspect is saying that he is non-binary. And this puts the media in a huge pickle. It puts the media in a pickle for a couple reasons. One,
how.
It turns out the narrative is not quite as simple as they thought it was. Two, they now cannot claim that this person is mentally ill or deranged, because after all, they've created a system in which you declaring that you are a non-binary human, a thing that does not exist, we are all members of biological sexes, that you declaring that you are non-binary actually makes you more sane.
What?
That in some ways, you saying that you are non-binary, what that is the true you. You're not allowed to doubt anything. What the shooter says now must be taken as absolute, verifiable truth.
What is this? What the fuck is he talking about?
This is the most deranged, rant that I've heard in a little while. And
yeah, sex versus gender, but even so, what does he mean? Since when has anybody said that if you identify as non-binary, suddenly we have to take everything you say seriously? Ben has met Blair White. Ben knows that there are trans people who the left does not take seriously. He knows this is a fucking lie.
He knows how we feel about Candace Owens, right?
Word salad. Yeah. He knows that this is a lie. He knows that we don't just say, oh, if you're non-binary, you can do no wrong. He's literally lying right now. And since when does the media do that shit? What? Jesus Christ. I just...
You have to take at face value that he is a they, them. You must. Because after all, you must respect the pronouns.
Okay, but
They've
even if
created
you
this
take that
pathetic
at face
logical
value, you
box
don't
for
have to take
themselves.
anything
Now,
else.
for the rest of us who live in the normal world, this is always a very clear story. Deranged individual goes and does something evil. Boom. End of story.
Yeah, maybe
And
a
then,
child
when the
thinks
person
that,
goes to
but that's all there
prison
is to
and
it.
suggests that he is a member of a they-them species that does not exist, you say, oh, well, because this person, obviously...
A they-them species.
A they-them species.
A they-them species.
Famously, the word they has never been used to refer to humans. Never.
When we say they, what I literally mean, have you ever seen Ben 10?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm they because I'm Ben 10. I can turn into 10 different aliens. That's the they.
That's what I mean.
Jesus Christ.
is with mental illness. Like that, okay, all fits in there. But now the left is confused and they're bewildered and they're puzzled and they don't know
No
what to
one's
do.
confused, bro.
And so some of the ways they've been reacting, quite fascinating. So Ben Collins, who's just the worst actor in all of this, he is the senior reporter at NBC News, who's blamed literally the entire right for everything that has happened right here. He's appeared on television basically saying that if you oppose Drag Queen Story Hour, which in fact is a wonderful, wonderful thing, he said this on TV, that Drag Queen Story Hour is wonderful. It's where little kids get to meet drag queens. Why would that possibly be? Why would you oppose that? Why would that be a
Why
bad
would
thing?
that be a bad thing?
Well, he was also on
Answer
your
the
TV
question.
yesterday, was Ben Collins, suggesting that the Nazis are coming. That really what this is about, it's the evil people at Breitbart who are calling for death upon gay, lesbian, trans people. He can't provide any evidence that that's happening, but, you know, it's really, the Nazis are coming, guys. And you know, the Nazis, they really didn't like gender non-binary people. So if you say that there is no such thing as a non-binary gender, if you say that boys are boys and girls are girls, basically you're a Nazi. And because you're a Nazi, people are shooting up gay nightclubs. This is Ben Collins yesterday.
There is a long history of this. You know, I talked to this woman named Jennifer Merciesa, who's a rhetoric professor at Texas A&M. And she was telling me about this thing called hate objects that come up in, you know, pre-fascist governments, where they take people they describe as degenerates, right? And you know, before Nazi Germany, it was in fact gay people who played with, you know, gender
so
conformity.
Far, this is all historical fact.
And they say they are contributing to the downfall of society. They are the reason that, you know, things cost more, that the crops aren't coming up, right? We have been through this in the past. It's very dark.
All that was correct.
Yeah,
that was all
that.
exactly correct. Like, that's all a fact.
Also,
I can verify that.
And also notice how he didn't say that, oh, if you disagree with this idea, you know.
Yeah,
or
that's not what he said. Ben literally poisoned the well, saying that's what fucking that other Ben was about to say, and that's literally not what he said. You're completely right.
Yeah, that's literally like just completely like just made that up.
Yeah,
there.
he didn't say anything remotely like what Shapiro said he was about to say.
But I did not realize how late it had gotten. I do have to step out. So I have to get going now. But
I
guess
have to finish this video.
Yeah, no, I didn't realize how we got. I know that we kind of like it's sort of like abrupt. So I do apologize for that.
You're good. This was going to be the last thing.
Late or something.
I don't know, maybe. But yeah.
Yeah, or you know, whatever. We'll set up for, you know, the next time.
Yeah, I'll probably just finish this video on my own since this was the last thing we're gonna do anyway. So.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right, buddy. Yeah. So I'll talk to you soon, man.
Yeah. See you later, man.
All right. Peace out, bro.
Okay. Let me finish this.
Okay, this person, he's a terrible reporter, and again, he spent just blanketed himself on TV talking about how the right was to blame for the shooting. It was Nazi Germany. It was Breitbart. It was Tucker Carlson. It was all of them. Well. This morning, he issues a couple of updates on the Colorado Springs story. Oh, just a few updates, you know. It was last night. A few updates. The suspect is requesting to go by they, them, according to court docs provided to the New York Times. The Colorado suspect was 15 when they requested a name change. So first of all, I love that the entire media has to immediately shift mode and respect the pronouns of a mass murderer. There are those of us who are like, no, that's a dude. And you guys are like, no, we got to respect his pronouns. We got to. I mean, sure, he just murdered 5 gay people and injured another 25 people, but the important thing, he's a they.
That isn't.
This person's harassment by edgelord.
I don't buy that the person is non-binary, obviously, but the media going with they them, that takes half a second. How is that them saying that that's the most important thing? break changes at 50. Yeah, no, the name change. Yeah, the name change had nothing to do with gender changing. Ben Shapiro's camera cuts fucking annoy me so much. Yeah, they're terrible. What has P word? No, legit, but... What, like, I've never understood this point when people are like, why are you respecting the pronouns of a bad person? How is that important? How is that the most important thing? It's not the most important thing, but it doesn't take any more time to call someone, like, let's use Ezra Miller as an example, because Ezra Miller is actually non-binary. I'm not gonna misgender Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller's a fucking terrible person, but calling them they is not hard to do. I can say they are a terrible person. I can say they assaulted women. I can say they did all these horrible things. How is that taking away from it any more than if I were to use he when I said those statements? Like, it just, they've never demonstrated that any harm here, but every time something like this happens, like, oh, why is that the most important thing?
Reports online documented on the hate site Encyclopedia Dramatica, which outlined a harassment campaign repeatedly calling this person a pedophile. They accrued some of those posts and mocked the person's grandmother's GoFundMe to send the person to Japan. I'm studiously avoiding saying the name of the shooter because this is something we do on the show to prevent mass shootings, something no one in the media apparently will do. We on this show, and over on our site, over at Daily Wire, we do not mention the names of mass shooters because it gives them exactly the sort of notoriety and glory they're looking for. No one in the mass legacy media will do this. No one.
Okay, I hate to agree with Ben again, but he's right about that. The mass media should stop plastering mass shooters' names all over the place. I think we all agree on that, and most of the more independent media people I watch don't.
It's amazing, and then they'll blame us, obviously. Encyclopedia
still more your
Dramatica, the
fault
hate site
than
that
their
compiled
fault,
years
though.
of records of online bullying of the Colorado Springs suspect, updated the page when they realized that the shooter had an entry for years, adding that this person, quote, shot up a gay bar because he was tired of all the harassment. Okay, so the narrative is now shifting from Ben Collins in real time. So now the shooter, he's sympathetic to. Now the shooter had a rough childhood. Everybody was bullying this non-binary person, and that's probably why. So, as it turns out, according to Ben Collins, the right is to blame because this person was a disciple of the right, with no evidence, by the way, none. I mean, the media tried to trot out not the relevant fact that this person was a psychologically disturbed human being with violent tendencies. They didn't care about that. They cared that his grandfather was a Republican politician in California or something.
Did they care
Which is an
about
amazing way
the
to
fact
journalism.
that his dad and mom are both conservatives, and his dad literally said he taught him to be a Mormon conservative, or the fact that all of his friends say that he hated gay people and regularly talked about it? Or no, none of that's relevant, Ben. You gonna ignore all that? How are you any better than the mass media for just focusing on the one part that fits your narrative? Like, you're doing exactly what you're accusing the mass media of, and the mass media does do that. But you're literally focusing on one thing that isn't very relevant while ignoring all the signs that the dude is right-wing.
High-level journalisming. Well, we don't know anything about this person, but you know what his grandfather was. What?
We know how his dad
His
raised
grandfather
him.
Was. Excuse me, my grandfather one grandfather ran a clothing store and one advised people on speech writing at AT&T. What does that have to do with anything? But apparently that was the relevant fact. The relevant fact is that his granddad wore a MAGA hat one time.
Yeah, 100%.
Not that he was a psychologically disturbed individual arrested by the cops last year. And the other relevant fact, of course, is that this person had to be a member of the right without any evidence whatsoever. No evidence.
Again, there
And
is
then
evidence.
the evidence comes in that the person actually is non-binary because this is what the person now claims, and apparently
has been claiming
And,
for a day. There is no evidence they were ever claiming it before Thursday or Tuesday. Ben, gay people are groomers and need to be sent to Guantanamo Bay. Person X out a statement. Oh, well, it's not gonna, yeah, legit. Well, I'm not gonna say his name. I'm glad you're not saying the name, but that is one tiny thing. There was a social media post by the shooter showing a burning pipe. Yeah, there's tons of social media posts by him too that
and
clearly
their
shows a
response is,
right-winger.
well, probably if they are non-binary, it's because of bullying. So it's still the right. So either this person was bullied by the right into shooting up a gay club, or the person was a disciple of the right, so shot up a gay club. Or maybe your narratives aren't so comfy cozy. Maybe they aren't so pat. And maybe you guys manufacture narratives because you want the outcome. You want the censorship. You want people you disagree with silenced. Only the left does this in modern America. Only the left immediately jumps on instances of violence and suggests...
Why do you think that is, Ben? Why do you think that is, Ben? What was the last time you can think of that a left-winger shot a right-winger, Ben? You would jump all over those stories if they were a thing, wouldn't you, Ben? When was the last time that happened? Ben has one tiny thing. I had not heard this grandfather bullshit at any point. Literally me either. I didn't hear shit about the grandfather. It was all about the mother and father. Ben's voice gives me... Yeah, no, 100%, 100%.
The country on controversial public issues, including transing of the children. Only you do this. It's nasty and it's cynical and it's disgusting, and you violate your most basic obligation as journalists when you do this. Because again, you guys are the fact finders, right? You're above it. You're supposed to be you guys are the defenders of the American Republic. You guys keep telling us this. You journalismists, you. You keep telling us that this is your job, is to bring information to the... How could anyone label you an enemy of the people? How could anyone say that sort of stuff? No one should say that sort of stuff. You guys are objective journalism experts who focus first on the facts. That's all you care about is just the facts, except that you don't. Alrighty, guys, the rest of the show is continuing right now. You're not going to want to miss it.
You care about the one fucking detail that fits your narrative. We just read through all that shit about the shooter. 99% of it points to hate crime by a right-winger. Ben's like, oh, non-binary. They said they were non-binary once in court. Nope. Whole thing's thrown away. Clearly just crazy. Clearly just fucking crazy trans. Oh, watching right-wingers makes me want to fucking... Okay, let's see. What's this thing Jens sent? And then I'll probably call it good. It's been almost 2 hours. Ben is like a 14-year-old perpetually stuck in this libertarian phase, except he's the type of libertarian where it's like, you do not want small government at all, and it's very obvious.
He wants all the government.
So this is about how... There's a video. Let's watch the video.
American citizens own an estimated 265 million guns, more than one gun for every adult in the country. But according to a new study, a tiny group of just 3% of American adults own half of those guns.
I knew that.
These super owners own an average of 17 guns each. And as the percentage of overall gun owners shrinks, their piles of guns are growing. The new study from Harvard and Northeastern University researchers lets us tackle some sticky stereotypes. It's true that percentage-wise, gun owners are more likely to be white, male, conservative, and living in a rural area. But there's a reason it rubbed Americans the wrong way when President Obama said this.
When you go into some of these small towns in Pennsylvania, like a lot of small towns in the Midwest, the jobs have been gone now for 25 years and nothing's replaced it. So it's not surprising then that they get better and they cling to guns or religion.
Americans with a wide range of income levels are equally likely to own a gun. And those who made less than $25,000 a year were the least likely to be gun owners.
Oh, fair enough.
The gender gap in gun ownership is also shrinking. Since 1994, the percentage of American men who personally own a gun has decreased from 42% to 32%. Meanwhile, the percentage of American women who own guns has remained more steady at around 12%.
If anything, women are the ones who need guns.
While there's been a lot of
Based
political
upon
attention on the military-style rifles used in mass shootings,
AR-15. Much of the new gun debate focuses on the rifle that Adam Lanza used.
Yeah, it's
on Friday,
pistols
the
are the ones that
AR-15.
get most used. I know this.
handguns are responsible for the majority of gun murders. FBI stats show that only 3.55%
The AR-15 itself
of gun
isn't the
murders
problem.
are
That's
committed
a
with rifles each year.
misunderstanding of...
Since 1994, an estimated 70 million guns have added to the civilian gun stock. Over the same period, violent crime in America, including gun crime, has dropped dramatically. Of course, correlation is not causation.
Yeah.
Even though America is much safer than it used to be, gun owners in America are much more focused on self-defense than on hunting animals. 63% of all gun owners said that one of the reasons they own a gun is for personal protection. So while Americans may be safer, these numbers suggest that they don't feel safer.
Interesting. I really wanted one before. Yeah, so the thing with the AR-15s is, like, a lot of these school shooters use them because they're easy to get. They're the gun that's most well-known for being used. But, like, focusing in on the AR-15 itself is missing the point. The AR-15 isn't a special gun. Like, there's nothing about the AR-15 that makes it any more useful than any other rifle comparative to it. But yeah, God, I hate the gun problem. It's such a complicated issue. I don't personally like guns very much. All right. I think we'll call that good for today. Thanks for coming by, everybody. First time trying the stream quite like this. Oh, is that really all that's live? Habby and Shark Zero. Those would be kind of pointless raids. Let me see if I reload it. If there's anybody else. Good stream. Thanks. Is really just Habby and Shark Zero. Personally hate guns so much. Yeah, on a personal level, I really don't like them. Despite that, I do still think about getting one because of... Yeah, guns suck.
You can get one, Blake.
I can.
Are you sure you tried to commit suicide?
Yeah, I can still get a gun.
That's fucked up.
It is, yeah. Yeah, no, because of the fact that so many right-wingers have them and are so fucking crazy with them, I do think about getting one. But, if that wasn't a thing, I would never want one. They scare me. Let me just double check on the Twitch app. Yeah, that really is all that's live. Should I even... Does anybody have a raid target for me? Because otherwise I'll probably just not raid. If I raid Habby347 or Shark Zero, neither one of them are even going to fucking notice. Shark Zero's got almost 200 viewers right now, and Habby's got almost 400. So that would be like... pissing in the ocean, you know. So if anybody has a good smaller streamer I could target with a raid, it would actually help. Oh, you're literally setting up your Winnie the Pooh stream right now? Okay. I'll just wait then. Let me go pee real quick. I'll come right back.
Look at this pretty color.
It's kind of brown, but I like it.
No, it's not. That's the first coat.
Oh. It'll be more purple?
Yeah, a little bit more purple.
I should raid Cat Loving Con.
What the fuck are you doing? Okay, thanks. Yeah. Open up my chart.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and just raid Rock, since a lot of the people who view me would want to watch Rock anyway. I'll just wait for him to be live. I guess for now. Switch to chatting view. It says we have one more sub now on the... Just fired it up. Okay, sweet. I just noticed I must have gotten a sub while I was offline. Let me go back and look. I don't see us. Because we've got 23 subs now, but the counter shows 22. How did that happen? I don't see a sub in any of the last few streams. That's weird. Oh, well. I guess I'll have to fix that. I resubbed. I was a little bit... Oh! You did? During this stream? Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know why the counter didn't go up. Or did you resub while I was off stream? That could explain it. I'm not even seeing a notification for your sub. Well, either way, I appreciate it, Ron. And you don't have to explain why you were broke or why you couldn't sub for a bit. You don't have to sub at all, so I appreciate it. Yeah, during the stream. Huh. My thing didn't even pop up. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming by as well. I'm going to go ahead and raid Rock. He is going to be playing Winnie the Pooh's Home Run Derby for Pain Olympics. Which is funny because I tried it, and me and Amelia both tried it, and we're like, this doesn't seem bad. It's just like a fucking Flash game, you know? Like, just like any fucking simple Flash game. Apparently, like, 7 levels in, it gets absurd, so. Alright, later, guys. Go ahead and start the raid. Oh, I didn't do the countdown yet. I forget it makes you count down, like, 10 seconds first. Alright, sweet.